What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Precious Tutorials. Today we got a big wave transformation for you. My man's been woofing for about 5 months, and he said it was time to get back right, so he came to get pressurized. First things first, we want to comb everything out. This ensures that the hair is going to be laid out and lifted up off the scalp, so when we're cutting it, everything's going to cut off nice and smooth. So we're coming with a 2-guard completely closed with the grain, and as I'm cutting, I'm brushing everything back down. Also, you want to make sure that you're going with the grain following the wave pattern. You don't want to just cut any way. You want to follow that wave pattern. Now I'm brushing everything back down to ensure everything's laid down and ready to get cut. Now I'm coming in, starting my bald guideline. You just want to make sure everything is symmetrical on each side. So use the ear as reference points to make sure both bald lines are even on the same side. Now I'm coming in using some holding spray. I'm going to lock this hairline in place. While the hairline is drying up, I'm going to come to the back and start the back taper. So I'm starting with a bald line. And I'm coming up about a full inch. And I'm going to blow out this fade area because you see he's a waver, so he has a natural do-rag line. So he has a big fade area that I can work with. So I made my bald line with my Andes Masters completely open. Now I'm coming with my Babulous with a 1.5 guard completely open. And I'm coming with and against the grain. I'm coming with the grain at the top where the waves go into the fade area to smooth out that transition. And now I'm going to come against the grain and kind of flick out once I get to that area. Now I'm doing the same thing, but I'm going to close my guard up. Now, as I close it up, I consciously don't go up as far as I did with the 1.5 open. When I get to that area where the 1.5 open was cutting, I'm going to flick out. And this is going to naturally blend down. So first I did a 1.5 open, 1.5 closed. Now I'm with a 1 open. And again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm flicking out, but I'm staying lower than where I was with the 1.5 closed. And then I'm going to go ahead, close it up and do the same thing. And now I'm coming back with my Andes Masters completely closed so I can take out that bald line. And then I'm going to do some detail work to bring the whole fade together using lever play. Now, lever play is basically adjusting your lever accordingly to what you're trying to cut. The more your lever is open, the less hair you cut. The more your lever is closed, the more hair you cut. So as you open your lever, you can go up in the fade more. But when you close your lever, you want to stay down low because it's going to be cutting more hair. You adjust your lever accordingly and bring everything together with some detail work. Now I'm spraying the hairline down with some holding spray in the back. Moving on to the mustache, I'm going to go ahead and cut the mustache down with a 1 guard completely closed. And guys, this was very important. I was going to shape him up and I had to pull away because he started laughing, right? You guys want to be cautious when you're doing shape ups and when you're doing mustaches because your client can move at any time. So you want to make sure you have a natural reaction to pull away whenever some movement goes on. So because you don't want to mess somebody's mustache up, right? I hit the bottom of his mustache. I use my corners to hit the side around the lip and round out that area. And now I'm just pressing down, coming down with the line to shape the top of the mustache up. Now I'm going to go ahead and work on this hairline. Now I'm doing the hairline first because it seems easier to me to do the shape up first and then fade around the shape up so I can ensure that it stays dark for this particular haircut. As I go to the left, I start and plant right in the middle. And as I go to the left, I always come back to the right, combing back down the area that I hit. And this ensures that everything is connected and everything is straight. So every time you go over a little bit, you want to come back over to the middle, right? See how I always come back over? And that just makes sure everything connects. And now when I'm hitting my sidebar, I try to keep it as natural as possible. And I always like to angle my sidebars forward towards the eye. This gives it a nice effect when you're looking from the front, it looks straight. Now for my C-cup, I'm coming in with half my blade completely straight. And when I get to the curve, I hit the swerve, right? When I get to the curve, I hit the swerve. I use my corner and I kind of just swerve my blade over and I make that swerve, that C-cup. And I also always, every time you're doing a shape up, you want to always comb back over the hairline and hit the hairline again. This ensures whatever way the hair is combed, brushed, moved, the hairline will always be there. And now again, I'm starting at the bottom of the neck. And once I get to the curve, I use my corner and I'm hitting the swerve. Once you get to the curve, you hit the swerve. And guys, this is the easiest way I can explain it because you can use the corner of your blade and, do a swerve motion and make the initial line. and then you can go back and clean it up. That's literally what I did just there. So when you get to the curve, hit the swerve, and then you can make it look clean after you put that initial line in. Now I'm coming hitting the back of the beard. Again, I'm combing it back over the hairline and hitting it again. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side, right? But a lot of people have a problem where, you know, their hairline is lopsided or it's uneven. So guys, when you do one side and you start doing the other side, I want you to keep looking in the mirror and keep coming back to the front of the head to look at the full picture. You can see me walking back and forth as I'm cutting. I tell them to look up at me. So I make sure that each side looks symmetrical, right? You don't want, a lot of barbers just work on one side and then they turn their client and work on the other side and don't even look at both sides at the same time. When you're doing a haircut, you want your haircut to look symmetrical. That's what gives it a good look. Each side looks exactly the same, right? So you want to constantly look in the mirror, constantly look at your client from the front of his head so you can see the full picture. I'm checking in the mirror right now. I check the mirror to make sure it looks good in the mirror, and then I check it from the front myself to make sure everything is even, right? So when you're doing your shape up, you guys want to constantly look at both sides and look in the mirror at both sides so you can ensure that everything is symmetrical. I know a lot of barbers have a problem where, you know, their hairline is crooked or slanted or it looks, you know, abstract or weird looking. If you constantly checking yourself, double checking yourself, just how I am right now, again, you know, you'll always have a straight hairline. Now everything is symmetrical, everything matches up. Now we're going to start this fade process. So coming up about a ½ inch with my Andes Masters completely open, I'm coming to the top of the ear. The top of the ear can be your reference point, right? Now I go ahead and close it up and I start to stretch the skin and I'm going to flick out at the bottom. I close up about halfway and then I close it up all the way. And I'm always stretching the skin so the blade can kind of dig in and dig into the hairs and cut them out. And then, you know, that bottom line is pretty much faded out already. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the top of the beard, right? I'm starting completely open and I'm kind of flicking at the bulk of the beard, and then I'm going to dig into the top of the beard and I'm going to close it halfway, stretch the skin, and then close it all the way and stretch the skin again and fade it all the way out, right? When you stretch the skin, you know you're going to win, right? These are my two greatest sayings. When you get to the curve, you hit the swerve. That's for shape ups. That's for C cups. And when you stretch the skin, you know you're going to win. That's for fading, right? When you stretch the skin, you get so many benefits. You get more room to work with when you're fading. You know, it makes the skin literally long so you can, you know, have more room to flick out, to work with it, whatever. Also, it lets the blade kind of dig in to wherever you're stretching at so it can get to the hair better. So I always stretch the skin when I'm fading. When you stretch the skin, you know you're going to win. So the bottom line's done. I go in with my 1.5 completely open with the grain to smooth everything out. And now I'm going back against the grain and I'm staying in this corner area. He wants a low to mid taper. So I'm staying in this corner area and I'm using my corners and I just want to stay in that area. So now I close it up. And again, I'm doing the same process as I did in the back, right? 1.5 completely open with the grain against the grain. 1.5 closed against the grain. Stand in that corner. Now I get my 1. This is completely open. Again, stretch the skin. You know you're going to win. I'm flicking out at this area right here. Then I close it up. And now it's like that. I flicked out again. And now I take my Andes Masters completely open. And I'm going to bring everything back together, right? I'm going with the grain to smooth everything out. I'm going against the grain to bring that fade a little bit up and mesh it in to where the 1 closed was. And I'm using my corner to flick out there. I'm closing up, you know, halfway to kind of work out that bottom area, and then my fade is done. And I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. So 1.5 open, 1.5 closed, 1 open, 1 closed. Use the Andes Masters or, you know, no guard to bring everything back together and really work on your lever play. Work on learning your lever, learning your clipper, learning how different points of the lever cut different points of the hair, right? And you will perfect this style of blending, of fading, right? This is the pressure way. Now, there's no right or wrong way to cut hair, right? You just got to find what works best for you and continue to keep doing that. Once you find something that clicks for you and works for you, then you just got to keep doing that. And once you keep doing it over and over and over, you will just keep getting better. So now I'm coming in, my blend is done. I'm coming in with some Tune 45 color enhancement spray, and I'm just filling in these light spots. Now the biggest tip I can give you is put your card directly on the hairline and constantly move your air gun or your can or whatever you're using to spray. Constantly move that so you don't spray too much in one area, right? It gets evenly spread. Now I always come with some fibers to block out that shine that the color enhancement color brings. And also I spray this kind of off of the hairline, right? I spray the color directly onto the hairline, and I spray the fibers slightly off of the hairline. That way, when I go to reshape up, when I go to reline everything up with the enhancements on there, since the fibers are off of the hairline, when I go to shape it up, it gives it this super sharp look. It gives it a razor sharp look because the fibers are kind of like off of the hairline. So when you go to shape it up, you're really just shaping up the fibers. So you're making it look really sharp. And also the fibers, you know, kind of block out that shine, that color enhancement comes when you're using a color spray. I always go for enhancements to make my client's hairline look real. I don't like when the hairline looks fake or drawn on or sprayed on. So the best thing I can do is do a color spray very lightly and then cover up that shine that comes with the color with the fibers, right? Now I'm picking my client's beard out and I'm freehanding his beard to make it a nice shape. Just kind of cleaning everything up, and I'm shaping up the bottom of his neck here. Make sure everything's cleaned up down there. Now I'm going to come in with the straight razor. My client wanted a full beard. So the first thing I do is stretch above his lip and straight razor the top of his lip. And as I'm straight razoring the top of his lip, it connects to the beard. This is how you create a full beard. So you want to stretch the top of that lip and then, you know, go on to the beard area, right? I also shaved the rest of the excess hair off of his face and, you know, brushed it off with a duster and then went and reshaped it up with my straight razor. Now I'm just, you know, the biggest thing for a straight razor, guys, when you stretch the skin, you know you're gonna win. Make sure you get a good stretch. Make sure you're holding your razor at a 45-degree angle and you'll be fine. Again, look how much I'm stretching his skin. Do you see the stretch? I'm getting all the hair off of his whole face, not just shaping it up. I'm getting all the hair off of his cheek. Then I'm wiping everything off. Look at that stretch. I'm in his eye. Look at my thumb. I'm damn near in his eye. But he wants the pressure. So that's what he's going to get. This is what I got to do. I got to stretch that skin all the way like that to get him that white ash line naturally. I don't use no pencil. I don't need no pencil. Because I stretch the skin, I know I'm going to win. So yeah, when I get that straight razor in my hand, I really get in my bag. So you guys really want to learn this straight razor. I'm telling you, it's going to take your haircuts to the next level. Stretch the skin, wipe everything off, hit it again. And now the top of his beard was very light. So I'm going to go in with some color enhancement and just fill it in very lightly. I'm not spraying too much. I'm spraying a little tiny bit, and I'm going to keep moving my hand. And then I'm going to go back and shape it up again with the straight razor, making sure that white ash line is there naturally. And I did the same thing on the other side. Sprayed it down, use the straight razor again. Bow, he's in there. Now I'm coming with some waving cream. I always add a style to the end of my client's haircut. You can raise your price this way. So every haircut, every time I do a haircut, I also do a style. If you have a bush, I curl your hair. If you have waves or short hair, I brush your hair. So I always add a style, and because that comes with my service, I can charge more than the average person charges. Well, man, y'all see what's going on. My man's came in, he been woofing for 5 months. He said he need me to be the one to bring him out of his werewolf, man. I'm about to bring the whole moon down for this man. Cause y'all can see, he came in looking rough. He came in looking scruff. I mean, he came in mad. He came in sad. But I tell you what, he most definitely left in his bag. Y'all see what's going on, man. It's the pressure way. You want to learn how to build your barber business? Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and lock in. Who other than to learn from than somebody that done been through it all? I done been to barber school, did free haircuts, mobile haircuts, been in a barber shop. Now I got my own room, my own suite, with a consistent clientele that pay $50 to $60 every haircut. If you building your barber business from the ground up, go ahead and lock in and learn from somebody that's just like you. We gonna blast off. Come get pressurized.